Waka waka! Who invented that? Who owns the rights to the waka? I propose that we bring Pac-Man and Fozzie Bear together and have them duke it out to see who gets the rights. Fuck the legal system, I want bloodshed. So Pac-Man World 2 Repack, man, ho 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 man, ho 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 ho. This feels like a game I've been waiting for forever. A couple of years ago, Bandai Namco graced us with Pac-Man World Repack. I never played the original Pac-Man World, but the repack was fun. I liked it quite a bit. Pac-Man World 2, on the other hand, this is one that I grew up with as a little bambino, a little chimpanzini banini. I'll stop. I still have it around here somewhere. It was the version of the game that came with Pac-Man Versus included as well. It was a two-disc box, and you'd pop it in, and you'd be greeted by Mario. Pac-Man Versus? As a child, you know, I was like, that's Mario! That's Mario! But I couldn't prove it. Luckily now I'm old and fat, so I have Google. Anyway, so yeah, a couple months ago, they announced that they're doing Pac-Man World 2 Repack, and that was pretty exciting. I was pretty excited about this. And now it's finally here. I kind of went on a total media blackout for this one, because I knew I was gonna pick it up. I didn't care. I didn't want to hear what any reviewers, what any impressions were of the game. I just wanted to go in blind. I wanted to experience it for myself, and that's exactly what I did. And I'm glad I did it, because Pac-Man World 2 Repack is a pretty fun game. I liked it a lot. I was pleasantly surprised by it in a lot of different ways that I'll get into. This game is without a shadow of a doubt from that kind of 2000s platformer era, the one that I grew up with. So it was absolutely speaking my language, you know. I was vibing with this in a way that not many games can. But hey, before I go any further, if you could hit that like button, I'll love you forever. It helps these videos, it really does. Okay, let's move on. So the basic gist of Pac-Man World 2 is that there's ghosts. These ghost guys, these four numbskulls. They free the ultimate scary terror in the whole Pac-Man universe. Spooky! Ooh! This isn't a knock against the game, I just find it hilarious that the most evil guy in the world, spooky! His name could be Carl, and it would have the same impact. I will take over Pac-Land! Me! Carl! And so now it's up to Pac-Man with a voice this time to go and stop him, the evil Carl. Yeah, Pac-Man's got a voice. That's one of the many things that they've changed about Pac-Man World 2. This whole entire game, this whole entire thing is more of like a complete reimagining of Pac-Man World 2 in a sense. Like, there's a lot of familiar elements that you're going to recognize throughout your playthrough if you're a fan of the original. But I think more often than not, I found myself being like, I don't remember this. I don't remember this. I don't remember this. And that's not a bad thing either, because while I have a lot of nostalgia and a lot of fond memories playing Pac-Man World 2, it's definitely a game it's a bit of a product of its time, you know? So I think Bandai Namco absolutely took the right direction with Repack. Just giving Pac-Man World 2 a complete overhaul, a complete facelift, ironing out some of the rough edges, you know, that whole kind of thing. And if you ask me, they made Pac-Man World 2 a better game for it. I don't like using this terminology, but I seriously do think this probably is the more definitive way to play Pac-Man World 2 now. I don't like that terminology specifically because, like, I don't like the idea of, like, erasing the original games, you know? I think there's still a place for them. It would be cool to see the original version of this game re-released someday somehow. Will it happen? Maybe way down the line, I don't know. But it is hard to deny that, again, this game is a very big improvement, and I think I'm walking myself in circles here. I should probably get into what makes it an improvement. So when I first started playing the game, I'll be totally upfront and honest, I wasn't totally sure how to feel about the movement at first. Because there was a certain kind of like speed and momentum I seem to remember from the original game. Especially when it comes to butt bouncing, that it's been tweaked in a way that I wasn't sure how to feel about it at first. So when you go to use that butt bounce, you have a little bit of a stall in midair, you know, and in the original, I mean, you could just keep bouncing and bouncing and bouncing. You just keep that momentum going. Pac-Man also feels a little bit slower and a little bit floatier this time around. But after a couple of levels, after a couple of worlds of playing, I got a lot more used to what this game was setting out to do. And especially in the late game, I really understood the vision for how Pac-Man controls in this. I'll get into that in a sec. But all in all, Pac-Man feels great to control, and he's got some new moves to go along with him this time around. He can do like a little kickflip thing, like while he's on the ground. I think it was in the original, but it was like only in the air. He can throw the Pac dots, which are not required for 100% completion this time around. They're pretty much just purely ammo, as far as I can tell, and for score. And he's got a super butt bounce this time around, which is, this thing is utilized a lot more in the moment-to-moment gameplay than I expected. Use that super butt bounce to reach high ledges that you might not be able to reach otherwise. You can use it to stun enemies on the ground, all that kind of fun stuff. Pac-Man's got a lot of moves in this game, and it's fun. I like it. It's good. 2 thumbs up. Now, here's what I mean by I see the vision of the moves and how it all comes together. This game, Pac-Man World 2, it surprised me in a way that I was not expecting in the realm of its difficulty. Holy shit. This game is tough, especially the late game, man. Pac-Man World 2 is not afraid to kick your ass. I feel like in a lot of, you know, I don't know, reimaginings or a lot of cases where they bring back old franchises, they set it to baby mode, you know what I mean? Pac-Man World 2 did not do this, although there is an option for baby mode. That is a thing. And look, not to brag here or anything, but I do consider myself to be a bit of a platformer expert. I wear my little platformer expert cap. Can I have a cookie now? My point being, I know my way around platformers, I know my way around some tough platformers, and yeah, Pac-Man World 2. Repack. This one kicked my ass a bit. I should tell you something about the level of difficulty going on here, but I liked that. I liked that about it. I mean, again, it kind of brought me back to that sort of era of gaming where it wasn't afraid to shake you down a little bit, you know, rough you up for some lunch money. Another cool thing about this game, again, is that it's not just a remake. It is partially a reimagining as well. That comes down to certain level design decisions. They made a lot of levels recognizable. Like there were elements where I was like, okay, I do remember this sort of. But at the same time, they updated it in a way that I think was very smart. Because a lot of the areas, especially in the original, I mean, it's not exactly like a super great looking game. I feel like they did their best with, you know, what they had to work with to craft some better levels and level designs and all that fun stuff. But on top of that, they also updated all of the bosses in this game, because I think aside from like the first boss, the other bosses in the original game were just like reskins of each other. They floated around in these little like ghost mechs or something like that. Now in Repack, they're all completely original. They followed in whoever the frog guy's footsteps were. I forget which ghost was piloting that. I don't remember. They all have these like big animal mech things. And again, I gotta say, these bosses are tough. This game is not messing around. Especially the spider boss. Man, that one was tough. Some slight spoilers for the final boss, so prepare yourself. That guy was unbelievably tough too. That took me a good number of tries to take him down. But to circle back around to how they reimagined and reworked everything, they treated the Pac Village as sort of more of like a central hub location this time around, which I think was very smart. Because if I remember correctly, in the original, you kind of just walk along this path and you enter the different worlds by just continuing on through the levels. But now the levels and the map, I think, is a little more smartly, intuitively laid out, where you pick an exit from the Pac Village and then you start down the path. You have a clear amount of levels for each world, 3 levels per world, and then a boss. Then you free up, you know, the next path from the clutches of tree, and you move along to the next area. I completed the main campaign in like around 6 to 7 hours. That's about the time frame it took me. But again, to my surprise, there's just so much in this game to actually keep me going. They went above and beyond, stuffing all kinds of goodies into this game. Like, There are missions of all things for each of the levels in Pac-Man World 2. You complete certain parameters and then you can unlock an outfit for Pac-Man, which is pretty cool. And the missions could be anything from like, you know, defeating a certain number of enemies or just collecting all the fruit, beating a time trial under a certain amount of time. That's right, there's time trials in this game. So completionists like myself, we're gonna have our hands full with this one. There's lots to get into. I tip my hat to you there, Mr. Peck. I can't believe I didn't mention this sooner, but the music, nostalgic bliss for me. They definitely updated the music from the original game, but it was still similar enough that I was getting, you know, getting tickled to the bone with nostalgic tingles. My nostalgia tingle. So that was pretty cool. I was happy about that. This is also a spoiler alert coming up, but I won't show anything from it. I was shocked to find out that after you finish the main game, there's actually a pretty substantial, like, pretty meaty post-game. Goddamn, what? Again, they truly went above and beyond, just adding all kinds of content to this game. I mean, it's remarkable. I was surprised just about every step of the way through this fun little romp. If you ask me, $30 is a perfectly fair price for this package. I've seen some chatter about the price and how, you know, it's too old school. You know, why are they charging $30 for this? But for all the additions and improvements and attempts to beef up the overall package, if you ask me, it's perfectly fair. Oh, I guess, yeah, Pac-Man has gotcha mechanics now. There's like little statues you can collect throughout your adventure and like decorate the Pac village with. I didn't really mess around with this too much. I might end up messing around with it more if there's achievements for it. I don't know. It's not really my kind of thing, but I mean, if you're super into collecting stuff, well, this game's got you covered. There's definitely plenty to collect. Keep your hands full. I think I've pretty much covered my bases here. Pac-Man World 2. It was a good time. I'll just come out and be totally blunt and honest with you guys here. It's not like this is the most amazing platformer game I've ever played or anything like that, but it's well made. It's very competent in what it sets out to do. It remains faithful to the original while also setting out to give it a facelift in all the right ways. There might be some instances where the game feels a little bit dated in its overall design. Yeah, it's no Donkey Kong Bonanza, but it didn't need to be. This is Pac-Man World 2 for $30. Yeah, he can come into my house. That's cool. I liked it a lot. I'm looking forward to going back in and completing some more of the post game and getting some more achievements. I don't know if I'll go for full completion or not yet. I haven't decided that. I mean, there's so many games I have that I'm trying to work my way through, and so many games coming up in the future. But at the very least, this is one I can see myself replaying again down the road, and then maybe whenever I have a little more time, a little more space in my schedule, I'll absolutely go for the completion. Who knows? I might still do it now. I don't know. We'll see what tomorrow brings. So guys, have any of you picked up Pac-Man World 2 Repack? Are you enjoying it? I enjoyed it a lot. I thought it was fun. I thought it was a fun little throwback platformy kind of adventure. I liked the original Pac-Man World 2 a lot as a kid, you know? And it's not one that I necessarily thought was ever going to get a remake in my lifetime, or any lifetime really for that matter. Now the real question is if they're actually gonna tackle Pac-Man World 3. I don't know. That's a topic for another video. Yeah, I don't know. Leave any and all thoughts you're having about Pac-Man World 2 Repack in the comments below. I love to hear from you. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button. It helps these videos out so much. If you're new here and you enjoyed, then go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Got more videos coming up in the future. Got a really fun one in October that I can't really talk about yet, but I'm really excited about because it's cool. And yeah. Who do you think would win, Fozzie or Pac-Man?